Welcome. All right, my friend. Let's talk about you when you first came to an event. Where were you at? What was going on?
I was that bleeding heart, do-gooder. I'm going to help people, and money was not important. And money could even be evil. So I was charging about $60 an hour for my therapy services.
Okay. So one of the things that you've talked about is that whole piece about how doing healing work means that you have to rescue everybody else but yourself, you know. And I think a lot of people really relate to that because it's not necessarily the industry that they're in; it's how they were brought up and how they were taught. And you brought up the fact that you thought money was even evil. What has changed for you?
I realized that money is a vehicle for getting what I want and for making the change in the world that I want to see. And it's neither good nor bad. It's an exchange. And when I decided to place value on what I was doing, I noticed that all the people around me were starting to place value in what they were doing. So it was this, I have to be the change I want to see in the world, and if I play small, I can't expect other people to get big.
So what did you change?
The first thing I did was raise my prices. So I went from $60 to $75 to $100 an hour.
I'm scared of packages, just so everybody here knows. Like
right.
Packages, all those of you who are freaked out about your packages.
And then I came to a Gold Mastermind retreat where we talked about packages, and I thought, what the hell? So I put together this package and went back to my hometown and sold 2 of them.
How much was that?
They were $3,000 packages.
Okay, let me pause here for a minute. $60 an hour to $3,000. I think she deserves it. Okay, typically when we're trying to get over our money things and our pricing, what was it that let you give you permission to go from, at that point I guess you were $100 an hour, to go to a $3,000 package? What gave you that confidence to be able to do that?
2 things. One, I started to see in my clients this change that was happening, and I realized it just reaffirmed the value that I was giving. But the other was people who just wanted to come and work with me once or twice weren't getting the results that I knew they were capable of getting if they made a bigger commitment. And I decided it wasn't worth my time or energy, nor theirs, to say, it's almost like I was supporting them in this victim story. And I wanted them to realize that they didn't have to buy into this victim story, that I believed that they could make some major changes in their life to get where they wanted to go, but they had to be willing to commit to the process and invest in themselves. And so I held up a standard saying this is what you would have to do to get where you want to go. And some people don't want to do that, but that just means they're not ready. It doesn't mean that what I'm doing is not valuable. And that was a big learning.
What she just said is so important, especially for those of you who are hesitant to create packages, to raise your prices, and to hold by that standard. Because that is the core of it, right there. That philosophy, that way of being, and it changes everything in your business. What else has changed?
I'm able to, so part of what I want to do is give people a light to follow. And so that means that I hold up this example, and they can, if they're attracted to it, they can come and sample it. So I still have some opportunities for people to be around that light, but they don't get the full enchilada, so to speak.
We have mixed metaphors here.
Right.
Lights, enchiladas.
I like food, so that comes up early. And so so I still offer folks some low entry price points to come in and sample what's going on, but they don't get the full package until they invest.
Excellent. So what else? I mean, I know you have offered retreats. You've got some sold out retreats going on.
Right, so I started offering retreats after I entered the Gold Mastermind, and the first one I did not price as high as I could have priced, and I didn't realize that, of course, until later. I was like, wow, this is really good, and they seem to really like it. And so the next time I offered a retreat, I charged a little bit more, and people bought it. That was kind of weird. And then I was on a roll, and so the last retreat I offered, I had 3 tiers, and I took away the lowest cost tier. I only offered the higher 2, and the ones that sold out first were the ones that were the highest tier, the ones that cost the most. It's like, that's weird. And so then I advertised last fall for a retreat I'm doing this April, and it sold out in a month, and I was like, wow, that's really weird. And exciting.
Are you starting to see your vibe?
Yeah, there's sometimes I have to pinch myself, and because it feels a bit surreal. And I think the reason that is because I know I'm still operating here, and that there's so much more I can do. And so part of it's excitement and part of it's fear. But I'm now recognizing that fear means I'm doing what I need to be doing.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
Right, that's a writer downer. That's a big one. So, yeah, and I know from working with you now that you're poised and ready to go even bigger. Is that still the case?
It is, and this Click Retreat has helped me realize where I need to be more practical. Like, okay, some of the things we've been talking about, like, oh yeah, that would be a good idea if I wrote that out and would be able to articulate that to customers. And I know that that's going to be what propels me to the next level.
Awesome. Give her a round of applause.